Hello student, in today's class we are going to discuss geometry formula part 2. Now there is a disclaimer. The images, text and other material used in our presentation are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners. If you are the owner and have any concern or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the same. Now see the square. So square formula is 16.39. It will become a closed figure with all four sides equal and all angle is 90 degrees called square. So this is the diagram of the square. Next one is 16.39.1 of the square formula. So this is the diagram of the square and we can say that the area is a square or d square by 2. So we can clearly see that in this diagram the angle are bisected, all these angles, and sides are equal because this is a square, all sides will be equal and all sides meet at 90 degree. So this is a whole angle is 90 degree. So 40-45 diagonal bisect each other, diagonals will be equal in length and diagonal bisect each other at perpendicularly also. Next one, 16.39.2 of the square formula. So this is the diagram. Now the perimeter of the square will become sum of the all sides and the sides of the square is all equal. So if side is A, so we can say that the perimeter will become 4A. Next one, 16.39.3 of square formula. So this is the diagram of the square. So the diagonal bisect the vertex AC at the formation of the AC will length of the AC will become A root 2. A represents the side of the square. So length of the AC will become A root 2 and this is also equals to BD. BD is also a diagonal of the square. So next one, 16.39.4 of the square formula. So this is the diagram of the square. Now we can say that AO equals to OB equals to OC equals to OD, which is equals to AC by 2, or we can say that BD by 2. Next one. Now see the formula of the square of 16.39.5 of square. So this is the diagram. So we can say that diagonal bisect each other at 90 degree. Next one, 16.39.6 of the square formula. So this is the diagram. So we can say that the triangle DOC is congruent to triangle AOB and congruent to triangle AOD and AOD is congruent to BOC. So all these four triangles are congruent to each other. Next one, 16.39.7 of the square. So this is the diagram in which we can see that square having a incircle and circumcircle. So radius of incircle become small r become a by 2. A represent the side of the square. So we know that all side will be same. So all is a. So radius will become a by in radius become a by 2. Next one, 16.39.8 formula. So this is the diagram. Now we can calculate the circumradius. So the radius radius of the circle r, capital R is equals to, we can say that d by 2 or a upon root 2 and d represent the diagonal of this square. Next one. Now see the formula of the 16.39.9 of the square. So this is the diagram. So we can say that the ratio between circumradius and inner radius is root 2 by 1. Next one, formula of the square of 16.39.10. So this is the diagram. So we can say that the area of circumcircle and the area of incircle is always 2:1. Next one. So the formula related to square 16.39.11. So this is the diagram. So we can say that area of circle ratio area of the square is always 2. If we let it, the diagonal length radius is 1, so diagonal will be 2 and side is a. So we can say that area of the circle and area of the square will become pi r square ratio 2 square by 4. So when we simplifying it, we get the area of the square and area of the circle ratio is pi ratio 2. Next, or when we simplifying it, we just put the value of the pi, which is 22 upon 7. So we can say that it will become 2 dividing 22. So we get 11 ratio 7. Next one. Next formula 16.39.12 of the square. So this is the diagram of the square in which P, Q, R, S are the midpoint of the square. So P, Q, R, S also a square. So area of P, Q, R, S will become area of the square of A, B, C, D dividing by 2. We get the area of the P, Q, R, S. Next one is the rectangle 16.40. So what is a rectangle? A type of quadrilateral that has its parallel sides equal to each other and all four vertex angle are equal to 90 degree. So this is the diagram of the rectangle in which length and width are the different and diagonals will be equal in length and all the sides meet at perpendicular 90 degree and opposite sides are equal. So this L equals to this one, AB equals to CD and BC equals to AD. Now the formula related to rectangle 16.40.1. So this is the diagram of rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is length into breadth, L into B. Next one. Next formula of the rectangle. So this is the diagram of the rectangle. So the perimeter is 2 times of length plus width. We get the perimeter. Next one. Next formula of the rectangle is, this is the diagram of rectangle. So the diagonal do not bisect vertex angle. What it means? It means the angle theta and alpha are the different angles. Theta is not equals to alpha. If this is equal, then it will become square, not rectangle. So diagonal do not bisect the vertex angle. So they are different angles. Next one. Next formula of the rectangle 16.40.4. So this is the diagram of rectangle. Now we can say that AC equals to BD. What it means? It means the length of the diagonals will be equal to each other. And how we can calculate the diagonals length? If you need to calculate AC or BD, we use the same formula, under root L square plus B square. We get the value of length of the diagonals. Next one. Formula of the rectangle 16.40.5. So this is the diagram of rectangle. Now the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC, or we can say that CDA. Both triangle are congruent. Why they are congruent? Because we know that this side is equals to this side equals to this side, and AC, diagonal AC is equals to diagonal BD. So all three sides are equal, so triangle are congruent. So we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. Next one. 16.40.6 of the rectangle formula. So this is the diagram of rectangle. So we can say that AO equals to OC equals to OB equals to OD, which is AC by 2, or we can say that BD by 2. What it means? It means if we let it, this point is as a O, so we can say that AO equals to OB, OC equals to OB equals to OD. Why? Because the diagonal of the rectangle are equal and they bisect each other. So all are equal to each other. So we can say that AC by 2 or BD by 2. So AO equals to OC equals to BD, BO equals to DO equals to AC by 2 or BD by 2. Next one. 16.40.7 of the rectangle formula. So this is the diagram. Now the diagonal bisect each other but not at 90 degree. What it means? It means this angle is not equals to 90 degree. Any angle is not equals to 90 degree. So next one, 16.40.8 of the rectangle formula. So this is the diagram. Now the triangle DOC congruent to triangle BOA and AOD is congruent to triangle COB. We can clearly see that triangle DOC is congruent to triangle AOB. Why they are congruent? Because the length of this AB equals to CD and this length equals to this length. So this triangle become equal. All sides are equal. So we can say that this triangle is congruent to this triangle and AOD congruent to COB. Next one. 16.40.9 of the rectangle formula. So we can say that this is the diagram of rectangle. Now BO is the median of triangle ABC. So we can say that if we take triangle ABC, so BO will be the median of the triangle because AO equals to OC. So we can say that BO is the median of the triangle. So the area of the triangle AOB is equals to area of the triangle BOC because median bisect the triangle into two equal area. So we can say that the area of the triangle AOB equals to area of the triangle BOC. Next one. 16.40.10 of the rectangle formula. So this is the diagram of the rectangle. So we can say that similarly area of triangle AOB equals to area of triangle BOC, which is equals to area of the triangle COD and area of the triangle AOD. Next one. In rectangle formula for 16.40.11, in square or rectangle or parallelogram or rhombus ABCD, this is the diagram. So the area of the triangle APB and ratio of the area of the quadrilateral ABCD will always be 1/2, or when we put the formula we get 1/2 into L into B upon L into B. So L into B will be cancel out. So what we get the ratio? We get 1/2, or we can say that 1/2. So the shaded area upon total area ABCD is 1/2. So the area X plus Y shaded region is equals to area of the Z. We can say that because both are the half. If total area is 2 and 1 unit area is shaded region, so 1 unit is also is unshaded. So both are equal. Next one. British flag theorem for square and rectangle. So British flag theorem for square and rectangle, we can say that. So this is the diagram of the British flag theorem for square or rectangle, by which we can say that note AC and BD are not diagonal. First we need to understand that this is in this diagram AC and BD are not the diagonals. So P is any point inside the square and rectangle. So we can say that PA square plus PC square equals to PB square plus PD square. So if we let it as a putting the data, So x square plus z square plus w square plus y square is equals to x square plus w square plus y square plus z square. In both sides we get the same value. Next one. Now see the formula related to parallelogram. So 16.42. So it is a quadrilateral with opposite sides are equal and parallel. Now this is the diagram of the parallelogram where opposite sides are parallel and equal to each other. AC equals to CD, AB equals to CD and AB parallel to CD. Same way AD equals to BC and AD parallel to BC. Next one, 16.42.1 of the parallelogram formula. So this is the diagram of the parallelogram. So AB parallel to CD and BC parallel to AD. Next one, 16.42.2 of the parallelogram. So this is the diagram of the parallelogram. And angle A equals to angle C and angle B equals to angle D in the parallelogram. Opposite angles are equal. Next one, 16.42.3 of the parallelogram formula. So this is the diagram of the parallelogram. Now we can say that the opposite angles are equal. Next formula of the 16.42.4 of the parallelogram. So this is the diagram. So sum of two adjacent angle is always 180. It means angle A plus angle B is always equals to 180, or we can say that angle B plus angle C is also equals to 180 degree. So adjacent angle always make the sum is 180 degree. Next one. In parallelogram 16.42.5, this is the diagram of the parallelogram. Now we can say that AB equals to CD and BC equals to AD. Next, the parallelogram formula 16.42.6. So this is the diagram of the parallelogram. Now the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. Next, 16.42.7 of the parallelogram formula. So this is the diagram of the parallelogram. Now diagonal AC is not equals to BD. Clear? It is not necessarily that the diagonal should be equal. If diagonal is equal, then this parallelogram converted into rectangle. Next one. Next formula of parallelogram is 16.42.8. So this is the diagram of the parallelogram. And angle alpha is not equals to angle theta and angle beta is not equals to r. So gamma r, or we can say that anything. Next one. Opposite triangles are congruent. This is the property of the parallelogram. Opposite triangles are congruent. So this is the diagram of the 16.42.9, and the property says that the opposite triangles, it means AOD is congruent to triangle BOC. In the same way, triangle AOB is congruent to triangle DOC. So we can say that COD is congruent to AOB triangle, and in the same way, triangle AOD is congruent to a triangle COB. Now we can say that BO equals to OD equals to B by 2, or AO equals to CO equals to AC by 2. Next formula of the parallelogram 16.42.10. So this is the diagram of the parallelogram. Now the diagonal bisect each other, but not at 90 degree. What it means? It means the length of AO equals to OC is equal and OB equals to OD equal, but they are not cut each other at 90 degree as a rhombus or square. So next one. So in the parallelogram, the formula 16.42.11 says that this is the diagram of the parallelogram. Area of all four triangles is same. It means the area of AOB equals to area of triangle BOC, area of the triangle DOC, and area of the triangle AOD. All are equal. Now in the parallelogram 16.42.12, so this is the diagram of the parallelogram. Now we can say that d1 square plus d2 square equals to 2 times of sum of a square plus b square. Sum a square, a and b is the side of the parallelogram, d1 d2 is the diagonal of the parallelogram. Next one, area of the parallelogram. So this is the diagram of parallelogram where we need to calculate the area. So area of the parallelogram, we know that base into height, and height is the altitude. So we can say that if base is a, so h1 is the altitude, so we can say that a into h1, and if b is base, so h2 is the altitude, so we can say that b into h2. Next, so we can say that a upon b equals to h2 upon h1. The ratio between a and b is h2 upon h1. Next one. Now in the parallelogram, area in parallelogram with an interior points. So P is any point in the parallelogram. So area of x plus y is equals to area of z plus w. What it means? Half of the area of the parallelogram ABCD. So if we are talking about the area of x represent this area, y represent this area, w represent this area, and z represent this area. So x plus y area equals to z plus w, or we can say that half of the area of the parallelogram. So we can say that half of a into h1 equals to half of b into h2. Next one. So in the parallelogram, area relationship in parallelogram and triangle. So this is the diagram of a parallelogram. So area of the triangle APB equals to half of the area of the parallelogram ABCD, and P is the midpoint of the parallelogram of the side DC. So we can say that area of x plus y equals to area z, or which is equals to half of area of parallelogram ABCD. Next one. Area ratio of triangle and parallelogram. Area ratio of triangle and parallelogram. So this is the diagram. Now the area of the triangle APQ and the ratio of the area of the parallelogram ABCD is equals to 3 by 8. Now see the rhombus. So 16.43. So rhombus is a type of parallelogram with all sides equal and diagonal bisect each other at 90 degree. So this is the diagram of the rhombus where we can say that all sides are equal and diagonal bisect each other at 90 degree. It means angle AOB is 90 degree. Same way this will be also 90 degree, this is also 90 degree, and this is also 90 degree. So diagonal bisect each other at 90 degree. We can clearly see that. And all sides are equal. Now see the formula related to rhombus. So this is the diagram of the rhombus. So all sides are equal. This is the first property of the rhombus. Next one. 16.43.2 of the rhombus formula. So we can say that this is the diagram of the rhombus. So the property says that angle A equals to angle C and angle B equals to angle D. Next one. 16.43.3 of the rhombus formula. So we can say that this is the diagram of the rhombus. So the diagonal bisect vertex angle. Diagonal bisect the vertex angle. It means if this angle is alpha, so this is also alpha. If this angle is theta, so this is also theta. Next one, formula of the rhombus 16.43.4. So this is the diagram of the rhombus. Now the diagonal bisect rhombus into two equal areas. Next formula of the rhombus or property of the rhombus is 16.43.5. So this is the diagram of the rhombus. So we can say that the diagonals are not equal in length. AC is not equals to BD. Next one. Formula of rhombus 16.43.6 of the rhombus formula. So we can say that this is the diagram of the rhombus. So all four triangles made by two diagonals are congruent. So it means triangle AOB and triangle BOC and triangle DOC and triangle AOD all are congruent to each other. Next one. So 16.43.7 formula of the rhombus. So we can say that this is the diagram of the rhombus. So AO equals to OC, or we can say that AC by 2 and BO equals to BD, or OD we can say that BD by 2. Next one. So 16.43.8 of the rhombus formula. So this is the diagram of the rhombus. Now the diagonal bisect each other at 90 degree. It means angle AOB is 90 degree. Now the next formula of related to rhombus 16.43.9. So we can say that this is the diagram of the rhombus. So d1 square by 4 plus d2 square by 4 equals to a square. And d1, d2 represent the diagonal. Next one. So d1 square plus d2 square, we can say that 4a square when we simplifying it. Or we can say that d1 square plus d2 square is equals to 4a square. Next one. So the area of the rhombus, this is the diagram of the rhombus. So we know that the area of triangle BOC will become 1 by 2 into half of d1 into half of d2. So area of the rhombus will become 4 times of half of d1 by 2 into d2 by 2. So when we simplifying it, we get the area of rhombus, which is 1 by 2 into d1 into d2, or we can say that d1 into d2 by 2. Next one. Perimeter of the rhombus. Next one. So this is the diagram of the rhombus. We need to calculate the perimeter of the rhombus. So we know that perimeter is sum of all the sides. So the sum of all the sides of a rhombus is 4a, because all sides are equal in a rhombus. So if the length of the side is a, so we can say that perimeter is 4a. Next one. Trapezium 16.44. So it is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel opposite side. The parallel sides of a trapezium is called bases and non-parallel side are called legs. AB parallel to CD. If AD is equals to BC, then it is called an isosceles trapezium. Next one, trapezium midline theorem. So in this diagram, we can see that P and Q are the midpoint of the trapezium. So AC is not equals to BD. First thing we need to remember. So the triangle AOB is similar to triangle COD. So we can say that PQ equals to AB plus CD by 2 length. Then we can get the length of PQ. Next one. Length of the midline in trapezium with given area ratio. So this is the diagram. So we can say that the area of the triangle DCQP upon area of the triangle, area of the quadrilateral of DCQP and the area of the quadrilateral PQBA become M ratio N. Next one. So we can say that PQ will become under root MA square plus NB square upon M plus N. Next. So if M ratio N is equals to 1 ratio 1, then it means PQ will become under root A square plus B square by 2. Next one. Property of diagonals in a trapezium. So this is the diagram of the trapezium in which we can see the diagonal AC and BD. So we can say that if the sides of the trapezium is A, B, C and D also, and AB are the parallel side, CD are the non-parallel side of the trapezium, so we can say that D1 square plus D2 square equals to C square plus D square plus 2 times of parallel side, product of the parallel side, which is 2 times of A into B. Next one. So the area of the trapezium. So this is the diagram of the trapezium. Now we can calculate the area of the trapezium ABCD, which is equals to half of sum of the parallel side multiplying by the height. Then we get the area of the trapezium. Next one. Similar triangle and equal areas in trapezium. Now this is the diagram of the trapezium in which similar triangle and equal areas. So we can say that the triangle AOB is similar to triangle COD and area of the triangle AOD is equals to area of the triangle BOC. Next one. Now the formula related to trapezium. So this is the diagram of the trapezium where we let X, Y and K as a area formation. So we can say that K into K equals to X into Y. So K will become under root X into Y. We can say that if we need to calculate value K, it will become K square equals to X into Y. So K will become under root X into Y. Next one. So the section formula in coordinate geometry. So this is the trapezium where P and Q is the midpoint, or we can say that a point on the side AD and BC. So we can calculate the length of PQ by using the formula M into A plus N into B upon M plus N. And M and N represent the ratio of the length of PD and PA, same way CQ and BQ. Next one. Isosceles trapezium. So this is the diagram of the isosceles trapezium. It means the length of AD is equals to length of BC. So AB parallel to CD and AD equals to BC. So we can say that angle A plus angle B plus angle C, angle A plus angle C is equals to angle B plus angle D is equals to 180. So each isosceles trapezium is a cyclic quadrilateral. Or if a trapezium is inscribed in a circle, it must be a isosceles trapezium. Next, circle. So, what is the circle? A round plane figure whose boundary consists of points equidistant from a fixed point. and this point is called center of the circle. So chord line touches circumference of the circle at 2 points is called chord. What is radius? It is the straight line from the center to the circumference of the circle. Next one. PQ is the diameter of the circle. D is the biggest chord of the circle, or D represent the diameter of the circle. So you can see in this diagram, AB is the chord and the area in that is this is called the minor segment, and this is called minor arc AB. Same way, upper part is called, this called is major arc AB, and this is called the major segment. Whole segment is called major segment. This is called minor segment. This is called minor arc, and this is called major arc. Now see the diagram. We have the radius and PQ is the largest chord. Now area of the circle. So this is the diagram of the circle. We can calculate the area of the circle. So the formula of the area of circle is pi r square. Next. Circumference of the circle. So this is the diagram of the circle. So the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. Next one. Now the tangent line on the circle. So a line that touches the circle at only one point is known as the tangent of the circle. So EQ line is the tangent on the circle at point P, with OP is the radius of the circle. Now the triangle OPQ is 90 degree always. Next. Secant line of the circle. So a straight line that intersects a circle in two different points is called a secant line of the circle. Now this is the diagram of the secant. So PA is a secant in which AB is the chord. PBA we called a secant. We can also say that. Next. Perpendicular bisector of a chord is in a circle. So a perpendicular bisector drawn from the center of the circle to a chord bisect the chord. So this is the diagram. So from the center of the circle, if we draw a perpendicular on the chord AB, it is bisect the chord in two parts. So we can say that AC equals to BC. So OC is perpendicular to AB, so we can say that AC equals to BC. Or if AC equals to BC, then we can say that OC perpendicular to AB. Next one. Property of chords of a circle. So equal chords are equidistant from the center. Now equal chords make equal angle at the center. So we can see in this diagram, if the chords are equal, if AB equals to CD, it means the length distance between the perpendicular distance between them is equal. This will be also equal. And it is also says that if chords are equal, so this distance is equal and equal chord makes an equal angle. So if this chord AB make angle theta, then CD also make the angle theta, because they are the opposite angle. So also these two angles are equal. Next one. If AB parallel to CD, then we can say that angle AOB equals to angle COD. Or if angle AOB equals to COD, then we can say that AB equals to CD. Next one. Relationship between angle made by the same arc on the center and on circumference. So angle made by an arc on center is double the angle made by the same arc on the circumference of the center. So this is the diagram, we can see that. So the angle made at the circumference of the circle is half of the circle angle made on the center. And in the same way, when we make them like that, so this angle is will be 2 theta when it is alpha, or we can say that alpha, so it will be 2 alpha. Next one. Relationship between angle made by an arc on the same side of the circle. So angle made by an arc on the same side of the circle are equal. So we can say, see this diagram, and according to that diagram, the angle made by the same arc on the same side and angle made by an arc on the same side of the circle are equal. So if this is the length of the chord, which is AB, so all these angle will be the always theta. Next one. Angle made in semicircle. Angle made in semicircle is a right angle. Next one. Angle made in semicircle is a right angle. Now this is the diagram. So AB is a chord which is also a diameter of the circle. Now the angle, if we let it as a point C and this is point D, so we can say that the angle ACB is 90 degree and angle ADB is 90 degree. Next one. Alternate segment theorem. So alternate segment theorem says that angle made by a chord and the tangent is equal to the angle made by the chord in other segment of the circle. Now see the diagram of this alternate segment theorem. So alternate segment theorem said that the angle made by chord and the tangent is equal to the angle made by the chord in the other segment of the circle. So this angle is chord AB made an angle in the opposite side of the circle of the chord is make an angle theta. So this chord make the angle with the tangent AP with the same angle. So this is also theta, and both angle will be equal. Same way this alpha equals to this alpha. Next one. In alternate segment theorem, the formula of the, if we can see this diagram, so in this diagram we can clearly see that we draw two tangent from a point P which the both are equal in length, so PA equals to PB, and we make the angle from the chord AB. So if this angle is C angle, and this angle is at the point of the P, if angle is theta, so at the center angle will be 180 minus theta, and angle C will become 90 minus theta by 2, and angle D equals to 90 plus theta by 2. So we can say that the angle ADB equals to 90 plus theta by 2. Same way angle ACB equals to 90 minus theta by 2, and angle APB equals to theta. Next one. Alternate segment theorem. There is a formula of angle relationship in externally intersecting chord of a circle. So this is the diagram in which we can say that two chords AB and CD, they externally intersect at point P. So AB and CD, two chords, put each other externally at point P, then angle APC is equals to angle BPD, and this is the equals to theta minus alpha by 2, and this angle is theta, exterior angle, and this angle is alpha. So we can say that theta minus alpha by 2, we get angle BPD, or we can say that APC, both are the same angle. Next one. Angle relationship in a circle in alternate segment theorem. So this is the diagram. So we can say that angle relationship in circle if this angle is theta, so at the center angle will become 90 minus theta by 2. So we can say that the angle COD will become 90 minus theta by 2. Or we can say that angle COD equals to half of the angle AOB. And AOB is this one angle. And half of this angle will be COD. Next one. In alternate segment theorem, perimeter relationship. So this is the diagram. At the external point P, two tangents are drawn. AB and PA and PC are drawn and they are extended to. So we can say that PC plus CE plus ED plus PD is, when we simplifying, what we get PC plus CA plus BD plus PD, or we can say that PA plus PB. So the perimeter of the triangle PCD is equals to 2 times of PA, or we can say that 2 times of PB, because PA is always equals to PB. Next one. Next formula of the alternate segment theorem. Now this is the diagram of the two circles touches externally each other, and the AB is the tangent on these two circles. So AD equals to BD equals to CD. If D is the midpoint of AB, so we can say that AD equals to BD equals to CD. Then the angle ACB is always 90 degree. If it is happen, then the angle ACB is equals to 90 degree. Next one. Relationship between radii and sine of the angle. So this is the diagram in which we can say that two circles touches each other at externally and there are different radius R1 and R2. So we can say that O1 and O2 is equals to R1 plus R2. O1, O2 the distance between. This is O1 and this is O2. So the distance between O1 and O2 is R1 plus R2. Now ratio between R1 and R2 will become 1 minus sine theta upon 1 plus sine theta. Next one. Relationship between circle and quadrilateral. So if a circle is inscribed in a quadrilateral or a quadrilateral is circumscribed a circle, so this is the diagram of the circle which are inscribed in the quadrilateral, or we can say that a quadrilateral is circumscribed to the circle. So we can say that AB plus CD equals to CD BC plus AD. Next one. Relationship between two chords intersecting internally. Next one. So this is the diagram in which we can see that the relationship between two chords intersecting internally at point P. So, and the chords are AB and CD. So, two chords AB and CD cut each other at point P internally. So, we can say that PA into PB equals to PC into PD. So, PB by PC equals to PD by PA. We can also say that when we write it into the ratio form. So, next one is relationship between two chords intersecting externally. So this is the diagram where two chords AB and CD meet at the point P externally. So this is the diagram. Now two chords AB and CD cut each other at point P. So we can say that PA into PB equals to PD into PC. Next one. Relationship between secant and tangent in a circle. So this is the diagram of the secant and tangent drawn from a point P. So we can say that from an external point a secant and tangent is drawn, then PT square equals to PA into PB. So we can say that the triangle TPB is similar to triangle APT. Or we can say that PB upon PT equals to PT upon PA. Next one, internally touches circle with common tangent. So this is the diagram of the internally touches circle with common tangent. So when two circles touches each other internally and common tangent is given, so triangle APAC is similar to triangle PBD. Or we can say that PA upon PB equals to PC upon PD. Next one. So externally touching circle with common tangent. So these two circles are touches each other externally and there is a common tangent. So we can say that when two circles touches each other externally and common tangent is given, so the triangle PAC is similar to triangle PBD. So we can say that PA upon PB equals to PC upon PD. Next one. Properties of intersecting circles and common tangent. So this is the diagram when two circles are intersecting each other at point P and Q and there are two common tangent AB and CD are given. So we can say that two circles intersect each other at two distinct points and two common tangent are given, then AB equals to CD and RS square equals to AB square plus PQ square. So the length of RS is this length we are talking about, R and S. So RS square equals to AB square plus PQ square, length of this. Next one. Alternate segment theorem. So this is the diagram of the triangle which are made in circle. So we can say that AB multiplying by AC plus AE multiplying by DE is always equals to AE square. Now we can say that the triangle ABD is similar to triangle AEC. And we can say that then AD upon AC equals to AB upon AE. So when we cross multiplying it, what we can write? We can write it AB into AC equals to AD into AE. Next one. Two chords intersecting each other at 90 degree in a circle, then this is the diagram when two chords AB and CD intersect each other at 90 degree. So the inner radius R will become under root x square plus y square plus z square plus w square by 2. And we can clearly see that x, y, z and w in this diagram. So x into y equals to z into w, we can say that. Or r square will become z plus w by 2 whole square minus x minus y x minus y by 2 whole square. So we get the value of r square, which is z square plus w square plus 2zw plus x square plus y square minus 2xy upon 4. Now the r will become under root x square plus y square plus z square plus w square by 2, or we can say that under root a square plus y square by 2. Next one. So two circles touching each other externally. So then when two circles touches each other externally, then distance between their center is the sum of their radii. So this is the diagram when two circles touches externally, then the distance between their center is the sum of their radii R1 and R2, clearly visible. So O PO2 is a straight line. So the maximum common tangent is 3 when two circles touches externally each other. Now we can say that AB equals to CD equals to EF. Next one. Two circles touching each other internally. So we can say that when two circles touch each other internally, then the distance between their center is different from their radii. Now this is the diagram of the two circles touches each other at internally, and there is a common tangent. So O1 O2 P is a straight line. So O1 O2 equals to D, which is equals to R1 minus R2. Now the maximum common tangent is always 1. Next one. Circle not touching each other. So if two circles do not touch each other, then if two circles do not touch each other, there can be maximum 4 common tangent. So direct common tangents are 2 and the transverse common tangents which are 2 also. So this is the diagram where we can see AB and CD is the direct common tangent and PQ and RS are the transverse common tangent. So we can say that DCT is equals to AB and CD. Transverse common tangent TCT is become PQ and RS. Direct common tangent is AB and CD and transverse common tangent is PQ and RS. So the maximum common tangent between two circles when they are not touching each other are 4. Next one. Intersecting circles. So this is the diagram of intersecting circle. So AB is a common chord between these two circles. So the maximum common tangent of this two circle is 2. So the direct common tangent of the circle. So length of the direct common tangent of this circle, we can see in this diagram of the direct common tangent. This is AB. So we can let the distance between their center O1 and O2 is D. So we can calculate the radius R1 and R2, which becomes length of the, we need to calculate the length of AB. So we can clearly see that when we draw a parallel line from B to OA, so at that point the length of O1, O2 will become B and D if we let it as a C dash. So length of AC dash will become R1 minus R2 and length of C dash and B will become, we can clearly see that the which is D. So we can calculate the length of D, which becomes, if this length is equals to this length, so we can say that by using the Pythagoras theorem, AB square equals to BC dash square minus AC dash square. So we get our answer, which is under root D square minus R1 minus R2 whole square. So CB parallel to O1, O2. So direct common tangent, or we can say that AB equals to CD equals to under root D square minus R1 minus R2 whole square. Next one. Transverse common tangent. So the length of the transverse common tangent. So transverse, this is the diagram of the transverse common tangent where the centers of the circle are O1 and O2 and PQ and RS is the two transverse common tangent. Now the transverse common tangent is equals to PQ equals to RS equals to D square under root D square minus R1 plus R2 whole square, and D is the distance between the centers of the circles. So we can say that the direct common tangent is always greater than the transverse common tangent. Next one. In the transverse common tangent, next formula, if it is given that there is a direct common tangent when two circles touches each other externally, so D will become R1 plus R2. So AB will become direct common tangent, which is the formula will become 2 under root R1 into R2. So the direct common tangent become under root R1 plus R2 whole square minus R1 minus R2 whole square, which is equals to under root 4 R1 R2, which is equals to 2 under root R1 R2. Next formula 16.55.2. So we can clearly see that in this diagram there are two circles which touches each other externally, and there is a small circle which touches these two circles. So there are three radii R1, R2 and R3. So the property of we get length of AB equals to AC plus BD. AC plus BC, or we can say that 2 under root R1 R2 will become 2 under root R1 R3 plus 2 under root R2 R3. So the dividing by under root R1 R2 and R3, we get 1 upon under root R3, which is equals to 1 upon under root R1 plus 1 upon under root R2. Next, two circles intersecting at two distinct points. So this is the diagram where two circles intersect each other at two different points A and B. So we can say that when two chords intersect each other at two distinct points, then the length of their common chord AB is common chord. So AB we can say that 2 times of AP, and or we can say that 2 times of PB. So AP equals to PB, or we can say that area of the triangle O1A02 is equals to half of O1 into O2 into AP. So two circles passing through each other center, then so if two circles passing through each other centers, so this is the diagram when two circles passing through their centers. So length of the common chord AB become root 3 by 2R multiplying by 2, or we can say that root 3R. This is the length of the common chord. Next. Thank you.